Hello and welcome back to my channel, Fake It Till You Bake It, with me, your host, Pepper. Now once again, I feel very nervous and I feel like it's very poignant that I mention that until I'm no longer nervous when making videos. Honestly, it gives me like these weird butterflies in my chest, even though it's just the camera. Maybe it's because of the prospect of people seeing it. I don't know. Anywho, today I will be making something that I have literally zero interest in actually eating, for the simple fact that it has jam in it, and I really hate jam. I've always hated jam, for the exception of marmalade, because technically that's jam, but I don't know, it's different for some reason because it's oranges and it has bits in it and you put it on toast. I don't know, it's just a bit different to me. So yeah, today I'm going to be making Viennese whirls. I always end up saying it weird, so hopefully I said it right that time. Viennese whirls, not Viennese swirls. And after doing research for this recipe, I realized that it's actually quite simple. You know, it's what, 4 core main ingredients for the biscuit base of the recipe, and then just some buttercream, like vanilla buttercream, and jam, like smooth, non-seeded, for the filling. So I think it'll be kind of fun. I also have realized doing research that you're meant to use a star tip, and I have something that looks like a star tip. I don't know if it's a bit too large, and I don't know if it's actually a star tip. I feel like because it's slightly curved at the edges, it's technically a flower tip, but we're gonna work with what we've got. I've been trying to gather the ingredients for this recipe for a week or two now, and I'm at my wit's end, so I'm just like, you know what? I finally have all the ingredients together. Fuck the tip. And we're just gonna go with what we have. You know, if they look a little bit weird compared to the original, it's fine. It should still taste the same. It's a biscuit. It's got fillings in it. It'll be great. So here we go. I'm using a recipe by Mary Berry. If you're not from the UK, Mary Berry is one of the most acclaimed, you know, homemakers slash bakers in our country, I guess. I know that she's been on Great British Bake Off a few times, I think. I haven't really watched Great British Bake Off despite being British and despite loving baking, but that's neither here nor there. So today I have 225 grams of flour, 250 grams of softened, not melted butter. I have, 25 grams of cornstarch, and I have 50 grams of powdered sugar, which are here. Trust me, they're not drugs. Anywho, so the first thing I have to do is to, in a clean mixing bowl, add my softened butter. Love looking at like softened butter be creamed down. It's like, why does it look so delicious? Like, I know it's just fat, but it looks delicious. Okay, so let's pour the powdered sugar in here. Powdered sugar, done. I'm no expert, as the name of my channel would suggest. I've beaten it to this point and it's paler in colour and it looks fluffier, so I think that should be fine. Now let me just get a sieve out, and also get out your spatula to scrape down the sides. She doesn't tell you to do this, but I always do that because obviously it's a bowl, they're whisks, they don't always get everywhere, and I like to make sure that all of my ingredients are incorporated well. So that's what I'm doing. Make sure that you've thoroughly cleaned your objects beforehand. I already know that these are clean because I thoroughly cleaned them previously and stored them in a place that is clean, so it's fine for now. So now let's sift our flour and our cornstarch together into the butter. I was actually kind of surprised that these didn't really have a lot of ingredients. I don't know why that is, since I've made cookies and things before, but I've never made anything like a normal plain vanilla biscuit or a like shortbread or anything, although I used to love shortbread when I was little. My gran always bought them for me, and like she'll just have tons of this Scottish shortbread. Like it's the most typical one that you could buy in England, and they're like little shortbread fingers with little dots on them. And those were my favourites when I was younger, but then I ate so much of them that I kind of got sick of them. Kind of like the raisins actually. Like I used to love raisins and I ate so many of them that I grew up and I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm over it. Okay, so now I'm going to mix these together on low until they're just combined. And then she says that you need to put it up to medium and just mix until it's fully combined. Now, as I said earlier, I already prepared my piping bag and piping tip. So as soon as it's finished, we'll just scoop it out and stick it in there. So I should have prepared a spoon, but we'll get to that in a second. Okay. Now I believe this is what it looks like just combined. Like as you can see, well, you might not be able to tell fully, but oh god, just fucking up the setup, but it's fine. So like as you can see, it's kind of come together. There's still a bit of powder around the edges, and it looks like it has quite a crumbly almost texture. I don't know if the camera will pick it up for you to see. So once we get to this point, we're gonna put it on medium and then just go ham for a second. Okay, so I think this is what she means. Oh yeah, actually. Like it feels super smooth now. Whereas previously when I just scraped the bowl down, it was still a bit more stiff. So now it looks more like this. So I think this would be the pipeable stage. Again, not an expert, I don't really know 100%, but I'm going to assume that this is okay because I don't know if you can over mix biscuit though. Stormus, no, these aren't for you. Why you cry? You had breakfast already. That's just our cat Storm being a little shit. I don't know if there's enough space in this little piping bag for all of this, but here's hoping. Yeah, the way I've done this, probably not the best, but because it's all coming out at the end, but it's fine. So I'm gonna give this a little test run on here. Ooh. Pipeability is key. Now, basically, I have drawn out individually what I believe is 2-inch circles on some parchment paper. I had to try and find the actual size of one online and then draw a little cutout and then individually draw them onto here. Don't do that if you can help it and you have patience. Just buy a cookie cutter round and do it that way. Now you have to make sure you flip parchment paper upside down so that the pencil marks aren't showing, because if you don't do that, then you're going to get pencil on your food, and that's pretty gross. Okay, so like I said, we have to make sure we go from the outside in a little tiny peak, apparently. Now, I don't know how well I'll be able to achieve this, but I'm going to try my best. So let's start from this side. So we start from the outside, going in, and then tiny peak and pull out. Oh god, that looks terrible. Let's try again. Also, you're meant to go a little bit smaller than the actual circle, apparently. That one looks a little better. So I'm just going to keep doing that until I think I've made the perfect amount. Whether or not these will come out perfect and uniform is also a whole nother question. Okay, that one I feel like came out the best, but it's not what was needed at all. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm just going to... Yeah, these definitely did not come out perfectly, but again, it's fine. All I can do is my best. So let me move these to the side quickly. Okay. Now we'll just do the same again. I've only drawn 15 each for each piece of paper because it said 15 to 16. Although clearly I have quite a lot of dough, so we'll see how it goes. The next step for now is to put them into the fridge, but let's do a side-by-side comparison and see how uniform they all look. So, I mean, they look about the same, although I'd argue that these ones are a little bigger. Like for example, that one's very small. Oh, that one's very small. That one's tiny. But luckily, because there's two sheets, you can kind of mix and match and see. Oh look, I got crumbs on my hand. Yeah, I'm gonna just give them a go now. Essentially, what you need to do next is put them into your fridge for 30 minutes just to make them set, and preheat your oven to 190 degrees Celsius if you're in England, and 375 degrees Fahrenheit if you live anywhere else and you don't use Celsius, I guess. Okay, so now we're going to make the buttercream icing, vanilla flavored, for the filling. I have my whisk, 100 grams of butter, softened, 200 grams of powdered sugar. I'm going to sift mine, but you don't have to. Seedless raspberry jam. You only need like half a cup of it, and you just spread it with a spoon, and half a teaspoon of, oh, this is coffee extract, oh my gosh, and vanilla extract. That finding out that that was coffee has actually made a lot of sense why some of my recipes have tasted a little different recently, but anyway. So as I said, I have 100 grams of butter, softened, 200 grams of powdered sugar. I'm gonna mix my butter for a minute just to help to incorporate the powdered sugar into it a bit better. You don't need to sift your icing sugar, but I like to because I just don't like lumps, and it just makes sure to eliminate them. Add our half teaspoon of vanilla now, which will also help everything come together. I know the recipe says half a teaspoon, but I'm gonna add another half. So I've added 1 teaspoon. So now we just got to match them all up. So like, look at the little base, they look so cute. So I think those two would go together. Push them together. Let's see, is that the appropriate amount? Ooh, look at that. Isn't she pretty? Like, oh my god. So cute. Don't know if you can actually see what I'm doing. So you spread a little dollop of jam. Oh god, that's a bit too much. Spread it out a bit. This one might be a little too full of jam. Get your, oh god. Get your icing mixture and just scoop. Do a little swirl. And then squish down. And then, yeah, that's it. And like I said, just keep going as many times as needed. Okay guys, so here we are onto the final one. I'm going to just make that a cream one so I can try it. And a tiny dab on the other side, I guess. Ooh, a white cookie, white cream cookie. Now I'm gonna plate them, then I will try some. And hopefully they taste good as they look. So let's give it a try. I don't know if the cookie or the biscuit texture is correct or not, and I don't know how it's going to taste. I also don't even know what they're meant to taste like because again I haven't had these particular ones before, but let's give it a go. It's actually pretty good. Just my only complaint would be that I stuffed it a bit too much, so I think these are going to be pretty messy to eat. But actually pretty good. But look, I just got a whole bunch of ominous white stuff on my clothes. Good thing I was going to wash these leggings today anyway. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I don't know if I would bake them a tiny bit longer. I went with the 10 minutes because like the browning, like they said, started to happen, and I was worried that obviously you don't want the whole thing to go brown. It's like it says just the edge. So these taste like a stand-up biscuit. I would definitely have this with a cup of tea or hot chocolate. It's actually very good. Overall, a very good recipe, Mary Berry. It's very good. If you minus the jam. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I don't know if I would call this a tutorial because
I don't know how informative I'm being, but yeah, it was good and it was fun and quite quick to make. If we minus the fact that I, you know, left the house for like 5 to 6 hours in between making them. If you are new to baking and you literally don't know where to start, maybe you should make yourself some Mary Berry bunny swirls. Cute, tasty, affordable, and yeah, that's all. Bye bye.